Well, hi everyone. It's Michelle here. Just Michelle Ferreri now. Not member of parliament, not conservative candidate. Just Michelle. It's the day after the federal election, and yes, I lost. Congratulations to MP-elect Liberal Emma Harrison and her team on their victory, and all of her volunteers. And all the people who put their name forward. Very big thank you to my volunteers and every single person who supported me. You guys were absolutely amazing, and you showed up, and we ran a very great, hopeful campaign. I do not think that this election was rigged. I don't think anything like that. I think I lost by 10,000 votes. I actually had quite a few more votes this time around than I did in 2021. And I think one of the big issues was that in 2021, the NDP got 18% of the vote, and in 2025, they got 3% of the vote. So I think that was a big issue. I think, we had some significant conservative gains in the country that were exciting. And what I really saw at the door was young people, very, very motivated. And I knew that if enough of those it comes down to numbers. Was there enough of those young people to vote conservative? Enough of those, folks out there that were struggling to come and show up. I knew things probably weren't going to go in my favor, that people's minds were already made up when I had a lady say to me, Michelle, you're great. You're really good. You're really good at speaking in the House, and you've done a great job in your constituent staff, which, by the way, huge shout out to my constituency staff. One of the nicest letters I got today. Thank you all for all of your texts and messages. Oh my gosh, thank you. And one of the nicest messages I got was like, Michelle, you really ran an incredible constituency office. And I know that's not a lot of stuff that a lot of people see. It's not sexy work, but the staff in there was incredible, and they're absolutely incredible. But this lady at the door said to me, she said, yeah, I think you're great. I think you do a great job. I'm not voting for you. I was like, what? Why? And she said, I think Mark Carney's the right guy for the job. And so I knew I had to sort of surrender to that. This was not about me and our team. So that's when I knew. But, I think that the work that has to come out of this election is we got to find some common ground. I've never seen so much extremes in my time. I mean, I've been in the public eye for a long time. And so I'm used to people, gossiping or talking about you or saying things. Like, I'm used to that. But this was like another level. This is another level of stuff happening. And I think we're going to have to, Canada, there's a silver lining in every situation. And I think the people who voted for Mark Carney have to take a step back and say, okay, obviously there's a whole bunch of people who voted for conservatives, there's a lot of people that voted for conservatives. So I need to be mindful that obviously there's something very important to them, and that I won and you suck. And the people who voted conservative or for Pierre Poilievre need to appreciate that a lot of people voted for Mark Carney. So they have to be mindful that obviously a lot of those people see value in that. And the sweet spot to moving forward is for both sides to sort of say, okay, actually that person feels as strongly as I do about the other person. And so you have to find that understanding or empathy. And then we have to be able to have that healthy discussion. One of the best pieces of advice I had when I was running my own business was, a great negotiation is where both people walk away wanting more or didn't get what they wanted. And I think that's where we're going to have to come. And I think Mark Carney has, a lot of work to do to restore trust in this country. Like, the trust has been eroded, and the frustration from people has been eroded. So he's got a big job ahead of him, as does, the opposition is going to be even more important than ever, as they always are, to hold them accountable, but find that sweet spot where we are not so extreme. not so extreme of this or that. It will be an interesting journey to watch. I'm very honored and grateful for what I was able to accomplish for Peterborough and Canada in my time in Parliament, and what I was able to learn, and the people I was able to meet, and the people I was able to work with. It was, not a lot of people have that experience, and I'm so grateful for it. And I can't wait to see what happens next. People are, what are you going to do now? Well, there's a lot of logistics that have to happen. You got to clean out your office. You got to take down signs. You got to clean up you got to do logistic stuff. But I think I'm excited. I'm excited about the next chapter, and I'm hopeful, and I just can't say thank you enough. I think, my family and I really, really found some real support from some of you, and it meant a lot. It meant a lot for the people who stood with us and supported me, and it just meant a lot. You never forget the people who show up for you, and you don't forget the people who don't show up for you too. You don't forget those people either. But you got to move onward and upward, and I think it's not what we expected. And I feel like, there's a lot of people who are very disappointed, and I think it's going to take time to process the results, and we'll break them down, and everything's going to be unfolded a lot more in the next couple of days. But I'm starting to ramble now, so I'm going to stop. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I would love to hear from you what you would like to see me do next. I would love to hear your thoughts. I love staying in contact with you. I love sharing stories, and I love bringing hope and light to people, and making those people who feel like they don't have a voice have a voice. And I love doing that. It means everything to me. Thanks, guys.